I'm Angie Everhart, and welcome to On Set with Angie Everhart. Moi. Mm-hmm. And today we are here with the lovely and talented Kandice White.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm fantastic. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, a little nervous. I'm having a little stage fright, just a little bit.
Oh, you are?
Yes. Every single time I do something, is the stage fright comes, no matter how many times I do it.
Well, that's a good thing.
It is?
That is a good thing. That means you care.
I do.
And it'll come with experience. It might it might
gradually fade away.
It won't ever fade away because then I don't know if you want to do that business anymore.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I get it. Like it's no more, it's not as exciting.
If you have something that gives you excitement and, makes you feel, alive, that's what you need to be doing, right?
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
And because I would lie if I wouldn't say that, that I want to do my best and I've done podcasts before and I've been in front of millions of people
and cameras and everything.
And, I think my scariest one was going up through on a live television show, hosting a show in another language.
Oh,
I did the M6 Awards in French.
Oh,
and my hands were shaking so bad that I had to put the microphone down on my chest, and I just started cracking up. I was like, because they were lifting me through the stage, and I'm like, oh. I just stuck it to my chest.
Hey, let me woosah for a second and get it together.
And I laughed at myself, and I was like, "Bonsoir, mesdames et messieurs." And just once it came out, I was like,
ready to go.
Ready to go. So, see, now you're ready to go?
Yep, I'm ready.
Stage fright's a good thing. It's not a bad thing, as long as it doesn't paralyze you, right?
Right. That's true. Mm-hmm. Nobody wants to see a paralyzed person on camera.
Well. So you have your own podcast.
I have a YouTube channel. It's an up and coming YouTube channel. And it's kind of all over the place. Cause that's me. I'm all over the place. But the main thing that I like to talk about is mental health awareness, anxiety and depression, and trying to break the negative stigma around it. A lot of people feel like they shouldn't talk about it, or if they do talk about it, they're going to be judged. So I'm trying to make a open space where you don't have to feel judged. Like, just talk about it, because I know from experience with me dealing with it, getting it off your chest, it makes you feel better and you grow that way. So
let's back up a second here. Because you said you were dealing with it. What are you dealing with?
Anxiety and depression. Anxiety and depression.
Does those are two strong words.
Yes.
Anxiety is one, and depression is another. I mean, that's two. So what do you do for that?
I try to cope naturally, different ways, like no medications or anything. I like to do yoga. I like to work out. I like to write. And then also me starting the YouTube channel, I feel like that's a good outlet.
It's a release. Well. Does it take away some of it? Do you think it's also because of fear?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah. Fear of not succeeding. Okay. Fear of being judged. That's the main thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Can I ask how old you are?
I just turned 26 in August.
Because I know you're not supposed to ask girls that, but you look like you're 16.
Really?
Yeah.
That makes me feel so good. Because I feel like I'm getting old. Like, once I hit that 26 mark, I'm like, oh, God.
No, you look so young.
Thank you.
Yeah. And you have this beautiful, I don't know if you guys can see, she's got this beautiful lion. I mean, he's just gorgeous.
Thank you. Because I'm a Leo. And proud.
Yeah. My son's a Leo.
Oh, when's his birthday?
The 24th.
Okay. And mine's the 17th. Okay, cool. But he's right there on the Virgo cusp, right?
Yes. I think he's more, I don't know. I think he's Leo. I think he's a good Leo.
Okay.
He could be Virgo, but I see more of a lion in him.
Okay. That's a good thing. Leos are very loyal, very good people.
He is. I see that about you.
Oh, thank you. I try to be, for the most part.
So go back, because this interests me, because my brothers and a bunch of my family members suffer from anxiety and depression. My oldest brother actually killed himself because of it.
Wow.
And so which I don't usually talk about, but since we're talking about it, let's talk about it.
Right.
And so you don't take medication?
Not at all.
What do you do? Did you find out about your food? What food you eat? Does that make a difference?
Well, it does. I feel like when you eat a lot of processed stuff, Burger King, McDonald's, Taco Bell, all the quick stuff, yeah, it definitely affected my mood. And now that I try to cook more, I try to eat more fruits and veggies on the daily. Yeah, my mood is always pretty
Elevated.
Good, pretty solid. Yeah. But if I fall back on, and start get a little lazy, or, I don't have the time to cook, let me just, get some fries, let me get a burger, I could definitely tell a difference. Yeah. Even with like drinking sugary drinks, sodas, caffeine, all of that stuff, all of that plays a big part.
Oh, it does.
In your mood. A lot of people don't realize that. It does.
Yeah, I came from the school of don't eat.
Don't eat?
Oh yeah,
wow.
I was a model in the 90s where
so
to do fashion shows. I had to starve myself for about a week before. I mean, literally starve.
Oh my gosh!
So there'd be like 4 days when I wouldn't eat.
Oh my goodness!
Right before show season. So I can't imagine that was very good on my body.
No.
But do that twice a year. It was like when we fasted. It was just really hardcore. But
and not good for your body and not good for your mental as well.
No, because by the time we got there, we were like, the girls were falling down left and right.
Oh no!
From not having eaten food.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, they'd pass out, and the people would come over and they'd give them smelling salts, and the girls would wake up.
Wow! Yeah. How times have changed.
Oh yeah!
Oh my goodness!
Well, it's a good thing that they changed because that's just not healthy.
Not at all.
And so for depression, what do you do? The same thing?
Yeah, I feel like my depression is more seasonal, and also this might be a little TMI, but like just as a woman, your time of the month,
for sure,
that could definitely bring on depression.
For sure.
And now
it makes you change.
Yeah.
So anything that can affect you with your change.
Because like even now it's my time of the month, and I'm just not really.
Well, do you find it's the first day?
Yeah.
Or the entire time?
Those first few days.
The first few days. Because when I had thyroid cancer, I stopped having my time of the month. They just took it away. I don't know why. When they took out my thyroid, because thyroid controls pretty much everything.
Yeah.
It just stopped. So I don't have them anymore. But they, the first day or the week before or at least one day right before, I'd look at things and get like kind of, and I'm not a cry kind of girl.
Super sensitive. Yes.
I'm like, oh, that's one thing I don't miss. But so did you notice that?
Definitely. During that time of the month, that's when my depression will be full force, and my anxiety too. I'll be a lot more jittery, a lot more nervous. And I feel like once it starts getting into the colder months, that's when I start to get in a little depressive mood. I don't know if it's because it's Christmas time and it's a lot going on. You got to purchase gifts, and you got to make sure everybody around you is happy and satisfied with their gifts, and make sure everybody's getting along, spending quality time together. It's just a lot going on. So for the most part, my depression is more seasonal. My anxiety, she just comes and goes when she wants to.
Do you have a name for her?
No. I don't even want to name her because I don't even like her like that. But yeah, it's pretty seasonal, the depression.
And well, because you don't seem like you're a depressed, anxiety-ridden girl at all. You don't.
I guess we're a good mess.
Well, I had an acting coach once that said, "Fake it and you'll make it."
Yeah, I believe that.
And a lot of times if you just get up in the morning, and because I'm on a quest for finding happiness, like true happiness, because I've had a lot of things happen to me in my life. And this is why I'm doing this, because I love talking to people like you and everybody that I've had on the show, quite frankly, everybody has a different story.
Right.
And yours is, how did you grow up? Did you grow up did your family members have anxiety, you think?
I feel like they did, but I feel like It's okay. So it's a negative stigma, most definitely, in the Black community when it comes to talking about your emotions and your feelings, anxiety and depression and therapy and stuff like that. That's something that is frowned upon.
Why is that?
I think it's like, just go pray about it. You know, it's that type of thought process. Like, oh, nothing's wrong with you. Like, it's not that deep. Just pray about it and just let God handle it. But I feel like that's true. But at the same time, God gives us certain outlets and stuff to utilize while we're here. You can't just pray and just it's gonna magically just go away. No, you have to use therapy and other things that are here to kind of help you out. So with my parents, I feel like they grew up really old school, and it was you're the kid. You shouldn't be depressed about anything. You shouldn't be anxious because you have a roof over your head. You have food. Nothing should be wrong with you. So that line of communication was never really open. And I feel like it was like that with me. And
Is
I
it
feel
now?
Like now?
Or do you talk on the air about it and they just listen?
Well, now that I think about it, I don't really talk openly with them about it. But I'll get on air and I'll talk about it, and then they can see it. It's weird. Now that I really think about it.
Well, it's a form of communication. I mean, what the good part about what you're doing is that you're paying it forward, and you're paying it forward to other people, and whether that's your family or somebody else's family, somebody else can relate to what you're doing.
Right.
And I think that a lot of young people don't talk about this either, you know, but I think we're coming to an age where women are starting to open up a lot more.
Yep.
And so I'm really proud of you. That's
you.
something that's,
thank you so
you know,
much.
that you are the next generation, you know, and with youth and with sharing comes knowledge, and you can change people with knowledge. And so don't stop.
Yeah, it's really hard when like you're trying to help a group of people, but you're also a part of that group. So you're not even all the way healed or there just yet, but you still want to help others too. That's where I'm at with it. Cause
do you find that when you help, it helps you?
Yeah, like when I did my first video, when I did my first video, I kind of had like a little breakdown on set, but Jamie
on camera,
but Jamie was just like, no, this is perfect. This is what they need to see.
Jamie's your producer.
Right.
Jamie's our producer. Jamie's back there smiling away.
But when I did that, I was so nervous to air it. And after I did, I got so many people that were just like, oh my God, I can relate to you. Like, you might have been a little embarrassed, but I'm so glad you did it. So please keep going. So what'd you
get emotional about?
I got emotional because it was like the first time I was really opening up about my anxiety and depression.
It's being vulnerable.
Right. Being vulnerable, knowing that a lot of people are going to see it. Some people are going to have negative comments. Some people are going to have positive comments.
Right.
It was just all of that all into one.
Right.
But I had my notebook and I had everything written down on what I wanted to say. And I got in front of the camera and I kind of just like froze up. And Jamie was just like, no, don't freeze up. Don't freeze up. And I just had a little breakdown and I just needed a second. But once I came back to camera, I got it together and I made it through it. So it was just all about taking that leap.
And when you talk, you just do it yourself or you bring guests on?
Well, I brought one guest on the next episode, but I haven't had any other guests yet because I feel like a lot of people are still too shy.
I'll be a guest on your show.
Really?
Of course I will.
Yes, I would love that because I just feel like people, they want to talk about it, but they don't know how to. And I've been there. And I guess you just have to like develop trust. Like it has to be, even though I don't really know some of these people, but you kind of got to develop trust through camera. Like, does that make sense?
Well, people, once they start seeing you and seeing your face and watching your channel or watching what you do for a living or respecting you in a way to want to follow, and they're interested in you. So they want to follow you. And no, you know, whether it's being a model or an actress or a singer or doing your YouTube channels, if people are interested, they're interested because they're interested in what you have to say and who you are as a person.
Right.
And, I think there's a lot of anxiety when you're in your 20s.
Mm-hmm.
Truly.
Yeah, because it's a lot going on.
Well, you're not, you're becoming your own person,
mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Childhood's over.
Mm-hmm. Trying to figure out who you really are, what you really want to do.
Right. And the world's changing so fast,
mm-hmm.
right here on the phone.
Yes.
In front of you. And now kids, I call you kids because to me you're a kid.
Mm-hmm.
But I call my own son kid, so
mm-hmm.
don't feel bad.
No, I don't.
And but things are changing so fast, and people are under so much more pressure today than they were in my generation because
mm-hmm.
you have this.
Yep.
Click.
Yep.
And video, and I see where where it could be daunting,
mm-hmm.
but you are a role model. So when you think that you're being nervous and whatever,
mm-hmm.
look where you are.
Right.
And look what you're doing.
Right.
How does it feel when you help somebody?
It feels amazing. Like, I don't know. It feels like I'm doing a good deed. Like I'm doing something right. Like God is going to be pleased.
Mm-hmm. Well, he is, and or she is.
Right, exactly.
Whatever, but yeah. It's I think that every time I do a good deed, when I first started, because I had cancer, and when I unfortunately, all the people gave back. Mm-hmm. So I just think that what you're doing is fantastic. It's nice to give back.
Exactly.
Really is nice to give
exactly.
back. How do people reach what is your YouTube channel?
My YouTube is at Kandice Speaks. Kandi is Kandi.
I love it with the K.
Thank you. And I also post them on my Facebook sometimes. My Facebook is just Kandice White, Kandice with a K.
Awesome.
Yep.
Well, I certainly hope that you have lots of followers, because you seem like you're going to have.
I need to be more consistent first. I need to stop being in my head so much like, oh, it needs more work, or it needs this, or it needs that. Mm-hmm. I need to just record and just post it and just let it do what it's going to do.
So it's not only about depression and anxiety. What else is it about?
I talk about all types of things. Just being a woman, dealing with insecurities, dating,
mm-hmm.
Dealing with just women. You know how women can be sometimes.
Oh yeah.
Just
I ever?
Yeah, just all types of different topics, whatever I feel like talking about or venting about that day.
Yeah, because no man can tell me what I feel as a woman.
Exactly.
And I think that this business is filled with a lot of men. I mean, great men, mm-hmm. but you can't tell me how to feel as a woman.
Exactly.
If you're not a woman.
Exactly. You don't know what we go through.
You don't.
Mm-mm.
And it's a lot. I mean, we have lots and lots of pressures.
Mm-hmm. We sure do.
So and we have kids and families and mm-hmm. work. And
yep. We have to do everything, the whole nine, and still keep it together.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's but I think it's a generation of women like yourself that are doing it all.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Conquering.
Mm-hmm. So tell me some more things. I want to hear your topics.
My topics, like my last topic that I talked about. Mm-hmm. My last topic that I was talking about was just realizing as I get older the importance of having a really good, solid group of female friends. Mm-hmm. And that's something that I've never really had. Mm-hmm. Just because of my experiences with women and how I feel like if you're not cliquey, then you're not accepted, if that makes sense.
Right. Of course.
If you are more of just to yourself and shy, then it's, oh, she must be stuck up. She must think she's better than us over here. Mm-hmm. And that's not even the case. So
you could be just having a bad day.
Right.
You could be shy. Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah. But most of the time, it's never those thoughts. It's always the negative thoughts first. So my last episode, which I haven't even aired it yet, but it was just perspective from a girl like me that's misunderstood a lot of the time when it comes to women. So yeah, that was my last topic.
Did you have problems at school with girls?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. And I have a little sister now she just started middle school, and I'm so worried for her because
girls can be mean.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, can girls be mean.
Yes.
Wow. I did a lot of, being class mom.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a couple girls, and that was in first grade, that made my head spin around. I was like, wow.
Yep.
Did you really say that?
Yep.
I mean, they're mean.
Yep. And it's getting worse and worse as the days go on. Why
do you think that is?
I don't know. I mean, I know for a fact that it all starts at home. So I feel like, because, every child is pretty much innocent. They're only taught certain things. So if you go to school being mean to other little girls, then obviously somebody at home is being mean to you, or they're just not instilling those good qualities into you and telling you that you're beautiful and that you could be whatever you want to be, and you don't have to be jealous or envious of another pretty girl. Like, y'all could come together and be two pretty girls and do great things.
Well, two pretty girls are going to take a break. We're going to take a break for our sponsor.
When it comes to keeping my smile white, I only trust Oral Gen New Pearl Advanced Teeth Whitening System for sensitive teeth. With no harsh chemicals or peroxide, New Pearl offers a unique 99% natural formula that delivers professional results previously only available from your dentist.
Save 50% now on the New Pearl 32X Teeth Whitening Kit. Satisfaction guaranteed or your money back. Visit oralgen.com/live with Angie to order now.
So welcome back. We're having, I'm so interested in the generation differences because my mom's generation is different. I'm different. And there might be one in between with you, and then you, but do you feel that you can communicate with older generations?
It depends. Because I've had some older women be worse than the younger ones.
Really?
Yes. And
because of the rigidness or just the way things were when I was a kid kind of thing.
I don't know. Well, I guess just because it is such differences in the generations, they were brought up differently. So maybe that's what it is. Different views on things.
I also think that women weren't, as a society, we were divided.
Oh yeah.
We're not, come on women, let's band together like guys band together.
But they will divide us up into anything, small, big, light,
and we
dark.
let them.
Yep.
And I think that now finally we have a voice, and finally people are believing the things that we're saying, because we've been prosecuted since back in the days of Salem's witches.
Yep.
I mean,
very true.
If you believed or you were outspoken, you were a witch.
And you must be stoned.
Right. Right?
You have to go. Get out of here.
I mean, just think about that for a second. Now, and it took this long for us to be able to, have a voice. And even 20 years ago, things were happening to me, and people didn't listen to me. And I stood up and I was like, hey, this person did this to me. And people were like, that's just how they are.
Right.
Yeah. I was like, hey, listen to me.
Right.
And
no one wanted to listen.
No. So, and now if I stood up and did that, let me tell you, they listen, but I'm glad you're putting something good out there. I like the good. I don't like the girls that are, that accuse.
Right.
So,
because they make it look bad for the women that really are going through stuff or dealing with stuff like that.
Say that again.
Yeah.
Say it again.
Yeah. It makes it look bad for the ones really dealing with it.
Hallelujah. Because that is the key to this whole Me Too movement. What you just said.
Yep.
Because the Me Too movement could be amazing if women didn't falsely accuse. Now I'm a woman, so to falsely accuse is illegal.
Right. Exactly. All for a paycheck or just for some airtime. That's what it's all about now.
Well, I think anybody who's talking bad about you is just jealous.
Oh, thank you.
Because you're very pretty, and as much as you may have anxiety, because I think deep down we all have anxiety, right? And it's just learning how to deal with it. Do you have like a little motto that you say to yourself, or a mantra? Or
I speak positive affirmations into myself every day. I have positive affirmations like written on the what do you call it? Above your steering wheel in your car.
In the visor?
Yeah. And I sit them up there. I write them down in my little journal that I use all the time. I read them before I go to bed. So
do you have a certain book that you like?
A certain book?
Do you write your own affirmations?
I write my own.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So just
do you write new ones every week?
I probably should.
Or you just keep the ones and just read the ones over and over again?
Or like when I'm having a stressful day, just look up at them and I'm just like, okay, let me get it together. I'm smart. I am beautiful. I am this, I'm that, and get myself together real quick.
So when I was going through my divorce, which was a really hard time for me.
I bet.
I chose to leave somebody that I loved because I needed to. Yeah. And that was really hard. The hardest thing I've ever done. And I got so depressed. I lost so much weight in a matter of days, and my skin was like falling off of me.
Oh my gosh.
So I started going to see people to help me because I was so depressed, and they told me to do the same thing.
Yes.
So you know what I started doing?
What?
I started writing on my skin with eyeliner. Like when I was in the bathtub, I'd draw hearts. Yeah. And I'd put hearts on my legs and my toes, and then I'd write on the mirror in the bathroom with eyeliner. Love yourself today. Yes. And it was and this person who told me to do this kind of thing, it helped me make it through that day. Yep. And I think the affirmations are so important.
Definitely are, because it will redirect your mind from those negative thoughts. We have to keep reminding ourselves how great we are, because if not, that negativity will take over.
I get this. I've had a couple things that just flash when you're saying it. It's like, trust yourself.
That's the hardest thing to do.
Trust yourself.
Yes. Because we're all human and we're here just trying to figure it all out. So that is really hard to do.
Yeah.
Especially for me.
It doesn't look like it.
No, seriously. Because like I said, I'm 26 and everybody keeps telling me that's young. But I feel like I've wasted a lot of time in my early 20s. And so now I'm trying to
catch up.
Yeah. Yeah. So stress. The 20s are the most stressful. Hopefully in my 30s. Easier. I hope so. I really do.
It really does. And they say that you have an awakening or change when you're 50. So you got time. Okay. Don't worry, but enjoy your 20s.
I'm trying to.
Oh, you need to enjoy it, because really when you look back, you're going to be like, woohoo. So 20s are a time to go out and have fun. Right. Okay, so you didn't waste it. You didn't waste it. I'm telling you, you were doing what you were supposed to be doing.
True. That was all a part of the journey.
Yeah, I guess. You have to learn how to be 30.
Right.
And 40 and 50. You have to go through those changes. Yep. It's natural. Don't be so hard on yourself.
Oh, I say that all the time.
There's a good one. Don't sweat the small stuff.
Right.
I did a lot of that. Sweating the small stuff.
Me too.
Did it get you anywhere?
No.
It didn't get me anywhere.
That's why I'm trying something else. Okay, that didn't work. Let me try something else. Let me try to not sweat anything. Just let it go. Just let it do what it's going to do.
Well, let me tell you, I think you're way ahead of me when I was 20.
Oh, okay.
In terms of spirituality and getting yourself and having because if I had started then, man, the powerhouse I could be now. Because if I had started at your age, because I didn't care. I was just
living life.
Me. Kind of.
Yeah. Okay. That makes me feel better.
Good. You should, because you're on the right track.
Thank you.
And what you're doing with people of your generation are listening. which is fabulous. I'll get on your show and they'll be like, who's that old woman on
No,
your
they're
show?
not. They're gonna be like, who is that pretty lady? I know I've seen her on a magazine or something.
Just a few. What is your dream job?
My dream job. Maybe something in the modeling industry. Or
what do you mean by that? Because that's so vague.
Modeling industry. Me modeling. I like to model. I've been modeling off and on since like 2011. Never really took it seriously in my early 20s, and now I'm trying to make up for it. But now that I'm getting a little older, like I keep saying, I feel like, oh, well, maybe I need to try to take it into another direction. So, I'm trying to think what else.
Well, I did Sports Illustrated 4 times. I was the first redhead ever to be on American Glamour.
Oh, okay.
I paved a path where redheads didn't exist. I had a really great modeling career. It was so much fun. I would go a couple times a year. We'd do the circuit for all the, being the big designers, Valentino and Armani and Calvin Klein and Donna Karan. And, they were, I worked directly with them, so you're right in the epicenter of the fashion industry, which literally makes a ripple effect to the rest of the world. And because fashion and colors and music and all of that, but see, I believe you're a step ahead than what you actually think you are.
Okay.
Because you're doing more than modeling, because you're doing modeling, but you're doing your YouTube channel. And there's so many things that you can do with your life to enrich what you're doing. And you're going to find, I think, that through your experiences with what you're doing with the YouTube channel, and already you learned how to edit, right?
Right. Yep.
So you didn't know that
prior? Nope, I didn't. Not at all. I was so lost anytime I would see any type of editing.
Right.
But I just like, I need to get this. I need to figure it out. So I'll just sit and I'll study and I'll watch and I'll try it a couple times and eventually I'll get it.
That's something to be proud of. And then you're not nervous and anxiety ridden, right?
Right.
So I guess knowledge is power.
Right. It really is. Yep. So how would I avoid being scammed with certain agencies that aren't really legit?
Well, see, I started with a small agency in Akron, Ohio. Her name was Linda Apple, bless her heart. And she didn't even realize what I thought modeling was. My first job was actually, I was a Care Bear inside at the mall.
Oh, okay.
It's the only real job I had, like real, because everything else since that day on was about modeling or entertainment or movies, or so I've, knock on wood, have been blessed in that. But to be scammed, you really have to be careful with when they say you have to spend $400 or $500 on pictures. You can go out and get nice pictures. It doesn't have to cost that much. It really doesn't.
Right.
But you have to learn how to put your makeup on, watch the YouTube channels, but I think there's so much information on it now that modeling. So how I got discovered was this woman made me take the classes, and I'm glad I did, because I learned how to walk, and she showed me how to put clothes together, and for Akron, Ohio back then, and until I went to Paris.
Okay.
And then I learned a whole new set of skills, but modeling is very different now than when I was doing it, because it's all about social media and building your social media, and people are famous for stuff on social media.
Yeah.
But you can make a lot of money in social media, and what you're doing and being self-sufficient, you know. But the scammers, they're going to be there.
Yeah.
I say trust that little voice when it's saying, hey, red alert, red alert.
I've had that happen a few times, those little red alerts. And I'm glad I was aware and I wasn't like, I don't know, let me just jump on the first thing that they say to me. I'm glad I kind of stuck with my guns. And I was just like, no, that doesn't sound right.
Well, I wish I had done that too several times.
But you live and you learn.
You do. You live and learn. You know, I'm a truster.
I'm the opposite. I gotta get to know you just a little bit, and then I'll trust you.
No, I'm a truster. It's probably to a fault, but
that just means you have a good heart, and you're probably a good person, and that's why you're so trusting of others. Because
I do. I trust everybody.
Yeah,
I really do. I think it's a fault.
I wouldn't say a fault. I guess it depends on what person you use it on. I guess.
Everyone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I come out trusting you, and if you do something, then you get on the list.
Yeah. And it's hard to get off the list, I bet.
If you're on the list with me, it's not a good list. I mean, I just go away.
Yeah.
That's out of my life.
That's me too.
Tell you one of my most embarrassing moments.
Okay.
When I was a model. He's like,
yeah, get ready for this.
I just love this little dog. I was in Milan, and it was with Gianfranco Ferre, and he had always had a 6-person wide stage, and to get a single outfit on the 6-person wide stage, it had to be something substantial, and he had this skirt that was like a pencil skirt, and it was supposed to be sliced. They were supposed to open it up right at my bottom, so it was straight, but it had this giant slit. Well, they forgot to open the slit, so it came down to my ankles. I couldn't walk, and I didn't realize it because I was backstage taking little baby steps. I wasn't taking the catwalk steps, which are, and he wants you to do it fast down the runway. And I kind of like jerked when I took that first step, and in my mind I'm going, oh my God, what am I gonna do? I can't walk. I literally couldn't walk. My brother was like, he was out, and he was like, Angie, you really looked disabled. You looked like it was so bad. I was embarrassed for you.
Aww.
It was horrible. I couldn't even make it down halfway because I could not literally get my foot except right in front of the other foot. And there was barely room enough to do that. And I was supposed to do the Dior show in Paris, and they canceled me. Because of it.
Oh man.
They did. They canceled me. I was so upset. But I had to go up to him, and I said, look, I'm so sorry, but they didn't open the skirt. But
they didn't care.
No, but I got booked the next year, but it's fine. So it was fine. They forgot about it. But I'll never forget that moment. And it made me look at my clothes, and it made me want to prepare a little bit better, because if you're not prepared and you don't look at your own things before you work, then what happens? The confidence level goes down.
Definitely.
And but the best thing I ever did was a Levi's commercial. I'll make it short. And it was a Levi's commercial, and then I became, had a career after that.
Oh wow.
But it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I think what you're doing, I mean, in my humble opinion, keep going and use your brain. The best advice I could give you is keep using your brain, because you're beautiful.
Thank you.
A beautiful, intelligent woman.
Thank you.
Is what the world needs, and they need you to just shine and be you the way you are, because you let me know. I'll come on your show.
Yes, definitely.
We'll work it out.
Yes.
We'll work it out.
I'm definitely down for that.
We can. You can ask me whatever you want.
Okay. Cool.
I'll let you.
Cool. Yes.
As long as it's not about boyfriends, we're good.